Better late than never, I guess. After a little bit of technical difficulty, here we are. On not such a bad day, 802 Scoop, live from 185 North Main Street in Barrie. And it's kind of warm, and they said it was going to get to 56 today, but I
don't think it's going to make that.
I don't think it's going to make that
No.
either. But lots going on in the community, lots that's gone on in the last couple of days. You guys had city council meeting the other night,
Yep.
and with just maybe one kind of odd request that prompted a nudity ordinance.
Yeah. So we'll be drafting and having a reading on a nudity ordinance for the city. I think there's something in there, but it goes back to the early 90s. Actually, it was back when I was originally on the council, because there is something in there about a nudity ordinance and something about a 3-foot barrier, buffer, whatever you want to call it. And I remember that because that's when there was a strip club in Gar's building there on Main Street.
Yep.
And they had to come up with all new rules and regulations. And that just stood out in my mind, the 3-foot rule.
Well,
But so there is something in there. It's been years. I mean, that was 30 years ago. So we'll look at that. We'll see what we need to do, rewrite it, revamp it.
and so with all of that, with the rules and revamping and everything, I was actually really surprised to read some of the comments. I thought that people would be like, what the hell? And there were a lot of what the hells, just
Well,
like
yeah.
me. But a lot of people said it was no big deal. If somebody wanted to ride around in a cab nude, that was their business, nobody else's. And as long as they disclosed it, if you chose to get in a cab with somebody driving nude, that you should have that option.
Yeah.
So I was actually really surprised. I thought that people would be like really extremely upset, and but it was pretty much split down the middle. People really didn't give a shit.
I'd rather have them in a cab than riding a bicycle through Montpelier.
Right, exactly. And it says another ordinance that will not be enforced, like Jake breaks and bikes on the sidewalk. That's what this person says, Montpelier 28. And probably that's true. I mean, speaking of that, I almost got run over the last time I went to the post office by somebody screaming through on the sidewalk on a bicycle. And
Right. So you got regular bicycles on sidewalks. You've got electric bicycles riding in traffic.
yeah,
You got small motorized bicycles. I've seen them.
yeah,
There was one that goes by up Maple Avenue every morning. He should have a motorcycle helmet, not a bicycle helmet. He's now, technically he's on a motorcycle.
right, in the road. Yeah. But I agree. I mean, it's another ordinance, and we'll see how it goes. But I was definitely shocked at the the comments, I guess. I thought that people would be a lot more upset about it than they were, but they weren't. And in whatever, each to their own. Like I don't care. Would I get in a cab with somebody driving naked? No, I just wouldn't. I would be uncomfortable, and it would just be odd and weird
Well,
and
yeah,
whatever. But
it'd be really odd.
you know, so but what else went down? We know that there's a new business coming in across the
Yes,
street,
right
and we
across
know
from us.
that right across from us in the old Beauvair, and we know that some people were, really not wanting a tobacco and beer shop right here on Main Street in Barry, but you said the owners.
There's nothing that prevents it from coming in. And the owners came in. They have several stores. They're the biggest. How did he put that? One of the biggest tobacco beer sales owners in New Hampshire, other than the big corporate stores like Price Chopper and that. They run a really strict business. They adhere to all the rules and regulations, and there's really nothing that we could do to say no. It meets all the requirements.
And you said they seemed like they really knew their stuff. They said they
do.
knew all the laws in several states, not just here.
Right.
And Glenn says maybe it'll bring some business to Barry, and it's true. Whether you think it or not, people that come down here for a specific reason end up doing other things.
Well, yeah.
And whether you're going to the hardware store for light bulbs and you end up saying, well, if we're going to be downtown, let's do this also. So,
Right.
yeah.
Somebody that likes, if they've got cigars, there's people that like high grade cigars. If you like different beers, specialty beers. There was one before. There was one down next to Mr. Z's.
Right, it was Mr. J's
Mr.
or
J's,
something like
yeah.
that. Yeah, and that was open a short time,
Yeah.
but it was
But
open
he had
and
specialty
right down there.
beers and
But I think the biggest concern was that it was going to be right on Main Street, and but they put up a really nice sign.
Yep.
They, it doesn't look anything half-assed. So yeah. They just opened a place like that next to Subway in Berlin as well, Linda Kuchar says. And that's the one I was showing you the picture of.
Yeah.
And Glenn
I wasn't
said,
sure if that was the same owners.
yeah, me either. And Glenn says he likes a good cigar once in a while. But, at any rate, we got to say welcome and let people at least try, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Is it what we expected to see here? Not necessarily, but it's more business on Main Street.
They're not a fly-by-night outfit. Like I said, they're the biggest privately operated smoke and beer businesses in New Hampshire. So,
Well, good. So we'll see what happens with that. And then, so that really there wasn't a lot else on City Council this week. It was pretty minimal.
no, we're kind of closing in on buttoning up the ballot for the budget in May. Probably will be finalized and approved at the April 7th meeting. We won't meet next week.
Oh, you won't?
No, Nicholas sent out an email today that we're not going to meet next week, and we'll have everything ready for the 7th.
Nice. Cool. So let's see what else is going on. We have egg hunts. We have egg hunts and craft fairs and all of that good stuff. I'm trying to get my I love having lots of different people in here. I think that's a great idea until sometimes I come back in here and everything is all messed up on my computer screen and I can't see what's what and all that good stuff anymore. It just is, I get confused at what's happening. But anyways, egg hunts. There are several of them, and there
Yep.
are lots of them happening this weekend, But there are also some happening on Saturday, the day before Easter, which I was surprised about.
Cutting a little tight, I think.
Yeah, including the one in the town/city. They're combined, but
Yep.
it's happening up here inside at the BOR.
Rain or shine.
Rain or shine. And they used to always be rain or shine anyway.
Yeah.
I don't remember a time where the kids weren't out there in the, freezing cold weather looking for eggs, or sometimes it would snow the night before or whatever. And,
Okay.
it was good. It was all good. But there is one this weekend at the Faith Community Church right here on the Barry Montpelier Road in Jones Brothers Way. That is at 3 p.m. There's another one. It's a craft fair and an egg hunt up at the Berlin Elementary School. That's this Saturday at 10 a.m. And then, as I said, the one at the Barry Civic Center, that is April 4th inside the BOR, and that's from 9 to 11. And there are age groups, 3 to 4 years old, 5 to 7-year-olds, and 8 to 10-year-olds. For the different groups. And then there's other things happening that day as well, as far as like crafts and different things that they can do while they're there.
Yeah.
So that's coming up as well. And then basketball, all kinds of basketball. We know all about that because we've been doing that for the last few weeks, and we're going to keep doing it for some more weeks.
Through, what is it? I don't know. I've got it on here, but it's counting this weekend, it's the next 3 weekends. We'll be somewhere for AAU basketball. This week we're going to be where? We're going to be in Danville. We're going to be in Hardwick.
Yep. And then what
and
else?
There's some of the games which we're probably not going to go to. There's one up in Concord.
Yep.
I don't know. They just spread all over the place this weekend.
They are spread all over the place, but that's okay. We'll do what we can to get there. And we know that, well, we just came off a busy weekend of the games, and the kids did a great job.
They did good. It was a good weekend.
Now, which basketball season is this? It's not the typical.
It's AAU, which AAU runs as soon as high school are done. And it depends what you want to do. You can do a short season, which is what Jordan does. So they'll be done, I think in the end of April, beginning of May, because they want to get into baseball. There's AAU they'll run right straight through the summer into the fall. It's a more competitive than, let's say, Barry Youth Sports basketball. But it's fun. I mean, we saw, I don't know, what did I see? 3 or 4 games over the weekend. I went to 3 games on Sunday, or 2.
We did 3 on Sunday.
Yeah.
You did 3 on Saturday. I just did 1 on Saturday because I didn't feel well. But you did 3 each day. So it's a long day. And those kids, some of them play more than 1 game in a day. I mean, they have to be exhausted by the end of the day. But
They usually have
you wouldn't know it.
Yeah, they have at least an hour and a half between if they're playing, multiple games.
And then we have the spring baseball season coming up.
Coming right up.
And you said they're looking for some sponsorships.
Yeah, Granite. So it's
who's
Granite City, Barry Community Baseball and Softball. So Jordan's the president of that. So they just got a big, I think, $1,000 donation from 802 Autos. And they're looking for sponsorships. So the sponsorships help pay for equipment like, bats, balls, new uniforms. They recycle, but after so many years, it's time for some other uniforms to be replaced. And typically you get, I think they have banners on the fence in the outfield. And so there's many opportunities. You can look it up. It's Barry Community Baseball, Softball. They've got a website. And like I said, Jordan's the president, and he can answer any questions you have if you want to be a sponsor. And I'm sure he'll be posting soon for signups.
Yeah, I think they did. They have a couple of posts out
Yeah.
already for different things,
And,
tryouts,
and it's
signups,
cool
all that
because,
stuff.
you know, years ago we had to wait for the weather to get good. But now with the turf and the BOR, they rent time. They have batting cages set up in there. You can throw in there. They have a portable pitching mound, so they can do all their typical outdoor stuff indoors.
And speaking of the turf is down.
Turf is down.
I've seen that they are playing pickleball and doing different things. And a lot of people ask, and we'll find out why some of the open sports, we were just talking about that this morning. Which one were we talking about this morning? I can't remember. But that there's no times open after school hours.
Yeah, it's kind of strange because it says on there, I was looking at it earlier, and it says open lacrosse 11 to 2 or something like
two.
that.
Yeah.
That's when kids are in school.
Right. And and we've gotten a lot of questions about that. A lot of people would like to know
So if
why
you
that is.
have
So,
questions, just call the Berry City Recreation Director.
right. And maybe she can help with that because we do get a lot of comments and questions about that. Like, why is it? When do the kids get to enjoy it too?
Yeah,
It's,
I mean, it's not school vacation yet, so it's, you know, I don't see who it's open for. But
right. I know that some of the adults use it for walking.
be,
A lot
yeah.
of adults use the turf for the pickleball and a bunch of other stuff that happens
Yeah,
up there
I
as
think
well.
it's 7
So,
a.m. They open up for people that just want to walk around this turf.
yep. So, and then we have coffee and conversation with the superintendent to learn about the proposed FY27 budget. There are virtual options as well, but that is happening Tuesday, March 31st from 9 to 10 at Berrytown Municipal Offices. Please park behind the building. Lots of big conversations about that for sure. The budget failed the first time out to the voters,
Yep.
so we'll have to see what they're thinking now. Maybe they think a conversation prior to the next vote will help. I don't know. I heard a lot of people saying that nothing's going to help. They just cannot afford anymore.
Right.
And so we'll have to wait and see what comes of that. But you know,
You know, and the state's failed several times on a redistricting plan, and they still haven't come up with one.
no, they still haven't, and they haven't done anything on their end. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. So you know, and hopefully people attend, especially because there is a virtual option, and get their questions asked and answered. We'll see how it goes. Again, it's March 31st, 9 to 10 at the Berrytown Municipal Offices, and park behind the building. And there is a remote option, and we've posted that, and so has the school, and I'm sure everybody has gotten it. Yeah. So there's Easter play date over at Emsley, Saturday, April 4th from 9 to 3.
Are you going?
Fun with goats. Well, I might because they have goats there.
Oh.
Little baby goats. So goats, chicks, bunnies, and more. Face painting and balloon animals and tulip specials. I wonder if Michael's doing the balloon animals. He does.
He likes
that.
doing that.
Yeah, he does do that. So get on over there to Emsley's for that. And then another important event is happening this Friday, and that's VEGGIE VANGO.
Yep.
And a couple of them were canceled right in a row. So I know they did end up having it last month, and I don't see where the weather would keep them away tomorrow. It is supposed to be chilly, but it's not supposed to be horrible. So the VEGGIE VANGO is tomorrow from 9 to 10:30 at the Berry Auditorium, and you literally drive in. You don't even have to get out of your car. You just drive around the building, follow the instruction, tell them how many families, because you are allowed to pick up for other families. I think a total of 3. including yourself, and it may be 3 more, but I believe it's 3 including yourself. And they'll put this stuff in your trunk for you, and away you go. And you can walk up as well. And that's open to all tomorrow,
And
9
it's
to
showing
10:30.
the rain is like at midnight, and it'll be done way before they set up.
Yeah. Today at, let's see, 5:30 to 7, over at the Aldrich Public Library is the harm reduction and overdose response training. And that's done by the Central Vermont Prevention Coalition. It's a really good training. They go over the use of Narcan, how to use Narcan, what to look for, and teaches that if you see somebody down on the ground and you're not sure, are they overdosing, are they having a heart attack, or is something else going on, that giving them Narcan isn't going to affect anything, it won't hurt them in any way. And yeah, just teaching about it, the harm reduction of it, and it's a good class. If you haven't gotten to go, I know the last several have been really well attended, and I hope this one is as well. So that's happening today.
What else is it? Doesn't the rec department have was that this Sunday? A sipping.
Yeah, the mocktails, sip and
Mocktails,
mocktails at the Berries. That's happening at Alumni Hall, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's happening this weekend. We've put that up there as well. And then the Corey Kitchen Spirits, they would like to know if you could create one new menu item at the Corey, what would it be? I don't know,
because they already have my favorite.
Right, they have meatloaf that is really, really good. If you haven't tried it, you should. That is, in the serving size is insane.
Yeah.
You get the fried green beans and mashed potato with it. It's really, really, but the meatloaf is really good.
Really
I don't
good.
know what that gravy is, but they should bring you like a big vat of it right to the table. Yeah. Joe says Bikers for Beth are selling t-shirts. Hi, Joe. I hope you're feeling okay, doing okay, hanging in there. Sorry we didn't see you at the event at Tasty Bites, which was a great event.
Yeah.
But definitely, if you want the Bikers for Beth t-shirt, reach out to them.
Yep. We did see Chuck Lyford there.
We did see Chuck there, yes, and Joe and Chuck are both the recipients of that benefit ride this year. Hopefully they'll have good weather and a great turnout, and all goes well. Joe, you'll have to get me a picture of those t-shirts and maybe a little information about cost and stuff so that we can post it and make sure that we're shouting that out for you all, because we would gladly do that. And again, hope you're feeling better, or at least on the mend, right? Getting there, making progress, one day at a time. It's not easy, that cancer shit, that's for sure. What else do we have going on?
What else? Well, Saturday is the final event at the auditorium until next November. The Vermont Trappers Association annual meeting and banquet is Saturday night. And then the crew will start cleaning up Monday next week.
And the renovations begin. And which is going to include air conditioning.
Yes, it is.
I think that's the most exciting part.
It is, because it opens up so many possibilities for events in the summer months. We had in the past early summer we used to have these Christian rock concerts. Larry Morrison from Morrison and Clark had put those on, and he'd pack the place, but it was so damn hot in there.
Yeah.
You know, you had
People
big
couldn't
air
stand it.
fans up in the balcony trying to move air, and all the doors and windows open. And
Yeah. Still wasn't enough. Joe, let's kick it back to the Corey for a minute. Joe says smoked pork chops. That's what he would like to
that
see
sounds
added.
pretty good.
And we definitely will reach out to Stacy, see if we can get some pictures of those shirts. And he's completed 8 radiation treatments.
Good.
Stay strong.
Venison and polenta.
There you go. I would
Venison
go
and
for
polenta.
that. Yeah, I would go for
See
that.
if they can do as good a job as the Mutwa does.
Yeah, I would go for that. No problem. There is also an Easter festival happening next weekend on Saturday the 4th also, and that's at the newly opened Funny Farm on the Barry Montpelier Road. And the Funny Farm is in the old Laguerre's, and then it was Thomas's farm and garden, but it's in that old building there, and they've done a lot of great work inside. But the Easter Bunny just confirmed that he will be there from 10 to noon on April 4th, and immediate photos will be available to purchase, $5 a photo, or take your own photos. They'll have an Easter-themed games, traditional egg hunt, light refreshments for purchase, and they'll have Easter lilies available for purchase, as well as other springtime plants. Many of the crafters have cute Easter centerpieces and or gifts, different gifts and stuff. But they are open, and I need to go down and check it out. Yeah, I've heard it's a really cute store, and they do a lot of live videos, and I've seen some of the videos, so I really need to check that out and see what they've got going on down there. It's nice to see it not close, but just to reopen and have a garden store here for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Girls Tier 2 tryouts for the Black Bear hockey, that has started. The next round, let's see, is April 1st through the 2nd. And so you can check out that link, see if you can get in there and play some hockey. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of these Easter egg hunts. And then Easter egg hunt Saturday, this Saturday, March 28th, in East Montpelier Recreation Field.
Oh.
Volunteers are needed to help put the eggs out. If you'd like to lend a hand, let them know and arrive by 8:45 a.m. East Montpelier Recreation Easter egg hunt is the 28th and it starts at 10 a.m. sharp, is what they're saying. So, and they have all kinds of other stuff going on as well.
I'd probably eat more than I'd hide if I helped.
You would?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know. Ruthier Auto Center is hiring for a mechanic, and the good thing and the big plus with Ruthier is there are no weekends. A lot of the auto dealerships, a lot of places, you work Saturdays. No weekends at Ruthier. Family owned and operated for over 25 years. Competitive pay and bonuses, paid holidays and vacation. And they have a clean, modern, state-of-the-art shop up there. So they are hiring. If you know a mechanic, if you are a mechanic, auto tech, give them a call, 622-0080. What you got?
All the fishermen out there, Saturday, April 11th, trout season starts.
Yeah, and if you have a shanty on any water,
Better already have it off.
It's already it's going
Yeah.
underneath, and don't walk on the water, right?
Right.
You should already have it off, and
Yeah.
if you don't, I'm guessing you're shit out of luck.
Boy, when do they stop selling ice out tickets?
Oh, I don't even know.
We better go down and see Rick Denty.
Well, we could do that. You can do that after the show. I'm going to go up and visit Barb.
Yep.
And you could go check out for ice out tickets.
Yeah.
because that's got to be coming soon.
I'm sure.
And Glenn says, "Where are you going fishing? Where are
I'll
you
go
going
just about
fishing?
anywhere. But
You'll
I
go
haven't-
anywhere."
I haven't done trout fishing for a while. It's always been pond fishing, you know. But when I'm up at camp, I usually bring the boys. There's a couple of small ponds up there, Kaiser Pond. Go down to Joe's, but that's always busy. But yeah, we hunt. We go around up there, and there's a couple of nice brooks up there too. There's Joe's Brook, and then there's one that comes out of Kaiser Pond. So there's places to fish. I used to fish. Me and my friend Eddie Watker used to fish a lot up Route 14, up through Calais and that way. That brook that runs along Route 14.
Yeah,
It was always
I haven't
good
been
fishing.
brook fishing in many, many, many years. Used to go all the time with my uncle. There's turkey hunting classes happening in Vermont next
Oh, yeah.
month.
That's right.
I didn't know they had classes
There's
for
spring
hunting
turkey season coming up.
But I didn't know they had classes for hunting turkey.
I didn't either. I know but you have to take the hunter safety course before you can do any hunting.
Right,
at
well,
all.
that's all I thought. I didn't know. But April 7th, Waterbury Stowe Fish and Game Club. And April 26th at the Guilford Sportsman Center. And the 29th. But each seminar is taking place from 5 to 7:30 p.m. with registration available at Vermont Fish and Wildlife. Vermont spring wild turkey season is the entire month of May, the 1st through the 31st, though Youth Turkey Weekend and Novice Turkey Weekend take place before that on April 25th and 26th. Anyone participating in the hunt that weekend must already have a hunter's license and a turkey hunting license, along with the right turkey hunting tag. Limit 1 bearded turkey per person. But I didn't know there were specific classes to hunt
Neither did
turkey.
I. That's interesting.
Don't you just go out there and look for a turkey?
Well, it's not that easy. Turkeys are pretty smart and they're quick.
They are.
Oh yeah.
Truthfully, I was surprised when I lived in Berlin. We'd often see turkey up in the tree, and it always blew my mind to see a tree with a bunch of turkey in it.
Yeah.
Because they're not little. And
Oh,
they
no.
get up there and sit on a branch. They're kind of funny to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glenn says it's for the flatlanders that don't know how to turkey hunt. I mean,
Well, yeah, could be.
there's probably a really good point to that. Yeah. We were talking about that yesterday, kind of. We were talking about people not from here. I'll say, you got to sweet talk them, Glenn says. But complaining about wood, the smoke from the wood-fired oven in Burlington, the Burlington Bagel Place, and as someone who grew up with wood heat, who lived on a street where just about every house had a wood stove, or it's just not something that I have ever felt was objectionable.
There's nothing wrong
I
with
don't
it.
like it when people burn shit that they're not supposed
Right.
to burn, and that
Right.
that's gross. Or and if that was filling my house every day, where you're smelling chemicals and things that you shouldn't be burning, rubber, plastic, whatever, that would be different. But I don't know. I guess I never thought that it was that big of a deal.
No. When I was a kid, we had a burn barrel out on the back in the backyard. Mm-hmm. And after dinner and stuff, we picked everything up and put it in a brown paper bag, and we brought it out, threw it in the burn barrel, and lit it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think everybody had one.
It's things definitely times have changed for
Yeah.
sure. But
But a wood fire, nothing
a
wrong with
wood-fired
that.
oven, how bad can that smell? Usually that smell would be something that smelled really good.
Yeah.
But these people are really pushing it
Yeah.
hard. I mean, they've sued this restaurant owner. They've, gone to the city, and he's tried. He's done
yeah.
all kinds of different improvements. Like he's tried, but I don't know. You bought a house that sits right behind a restaurant, And I know, like, even if that would be like buying the house right behind Burger King and then in the afternoon having a shit fit because it smells like Whoppers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, come on.
Yeah. They got to be transplanted. They're not from around here.
I mean, we walk outside sometime in the afternoon and that's all you can smell is food. And it just about kills me every time. It makes me instantly starving to death. You smell garlic or, something frying, or it smells like somebody's cooking out on their grills or something, and it smells good. But, Glenn said perhaps they should go back to where they came from or buying a house near the airport and then complaining about the jets. I agree. I mean, I don't know. It just seems insane to me that you would
if you
go
don't,
that overboard about it. And maybe they're from here. I don't know. But I have to assume that.
See, what gets me is they probably moved from, let's say they came up from Boston or New York City. Don't go to Burlington. If you didn't like living in the city, don't go to Burlington, because Burlington is Vermont's city.
Right.
Go out in the friggin' woods, buy something out, in Calais or out in Woodbury.
And then you'll really smell wood smoke.
Then you'll smell some wood
Then you'll
smoke.
smell some wood smoke.
And you'll need it to warm your friggin' house.
Yeah, exactly. And, that is, I mean, we always burned wood as a kid, and we always had a wood furnace, a wood stove, and I prefer it. I would much rather have wood heat over any other heat. There's nothing like it.
And there's nothing like a nice fire outside at camp, You get
and outside.
You got the fire pit and you load it right up.
And people love to have fires even in their own backyards and stuff. And so, I don't know. It's something that you better just get used to, is what I say. And but they say they can't even enjoy their backyard or anything. They ought to live here, where the people on the north end smell nothing but the sewer plant, right?
How'd they like that?
That they could complain about. And Glenn says no, he does not want them out in his woods. I don't blame him. I stay in Burlington. But anyway, I'm sure that'll be a shit opinion. And people get all pissed off at me and tell me how horrible I am for saying such things. But I don't know. In a world full of so many things to be upset about and complaining about, I just can't imagine.
That's like the people that they come up from a big city and they buy a camp on, let's say, Joe's Pond. Mm-hmm. And, it's a small rustic camp. They tear it down.
A true camp.
Right. They tear it down and they build this multi-million-dollar place. Mm-hmm. And then they bitch because the other people around them, they're having wood fires outside, and it's, we just built this beautiful place, and we got to deal with that. Mm-hmm. Get your head out of your ass.
Right. Yes, you do have to deal with that, because that's what it is.
Yeah,
it's camp.
that's what it's supposed to be.
That's what camp is.
Yeah.
The best camp, family had camp, and it had gas lights, no running water. It was we had the catchment system, and then you brought in water to drink, whatever, and a wood cook stove, and it was camp.
Yeah.
We loved it.
Yeah.
It was on the water. It was at Harvey's Lake. It was like that. It was our happy place. Mm-hmm. I can't even imagine. But same thing. There are some camps that are like crazy beautiful, and that's not a camp. That's a frickin' house. And so you're going from one house to the other for the weekend. Big deal.
Right.
Yeah. No, I'd rather have rustic, a real camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want a tent. I don't want to sleep in a tent, but a camp.
I mean, mine isn't, I have electricity. I have running water. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it's nothing fancy. It's a camp.
Yeah. Glenn said they've increased the prices of those camps so much, the average Vermonter can't buy one
never
now.
afford one.
Right, which is true, because of them building those sorts of camps.
And then the one you could afford, it's like your neighbor's 10 feet away from you. You know, they're just cramped in. And
Yeah, not like it was. Glenn says a camp is on his bucket list, but I fear I'm running out of time. Not necessarily.
No, you're not running out of time, Glenn.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking on a different level, like not necessarily as far as like money goes, but definitely not running out of time as far as age or anything. But in even money, I think that you can still find some really good deals out there.
You may have to do a little bit of work on them, but
Barb says if people get pissed off at you, you know you're saying something right. The problem is with those people that have their head up their ass, have shit for brains. Well, you know, sometimes,
yeah.
for sure. And now they're talking about taxing second homes or camps. And
that's a real sore spot with me.
with me too. I think if
Because
they're
they
going to
haven't really
do
come
that,
out and said, are they going to tax Vermonters that own camps? Is that considered, you know, is that
right, a second home.
right?
I think if you live in Vermont and you have a camp, that should not count. I think if they want to tax people who live out of state,
Exactly.
that's way
Yeah.
different. But there are a lot of people that have camps, that have been passed down for generations
Right,
and
and they're going to end up having to
generations.
sell them because of this.
Yeah, and the kids are just trying to, you know, a lot of times the whole family will split the taxes and say, you know, this one has it this week, that one has it that week, whatever. And even if that's not the situation, it's a situation like you where you have a camp. If you have a camp here and you live here, it's ludicrous.
Yeah.
It shouldn't happen. Glenn says the same thing. Camp should be off limits, and I completely agree. It just doesn't seem like, and you're not the only person I've heard say that. We have a few friends that have said, you know, if they do that, I'm going to have to sell my camp, and this camp has been in the family for 100 years or more, and it's not the way to make the money.
Nope.
But speaking of camp and budgets and people needing money and taxes and all those sorts of things, you got an update about paving as far as route, like the main route.
Yeah, what the state calls class ones, which would be 302, 14. You know, those are the ones that go through the city. So originally they were going to do those in, I think it was 27. They got pushed back. First they got pushed back to 2029, and then last fall they said it would be 2030. Got a message today through the manager's office that they've now moved those class 1 roads up to 2029, 29 to 28, I think. Yep.
So
So they moved them up
a little bit again, but still a long ways
better
out.
than, 28 is better than 30.
And so we still are at the point where we're going to hear it. People are going to be really pissed off, upset about the potholes going in and out of the city, and it's not this. But the main point is that it's not the city's responsibility, and the city could take care of it, but it comes out of the budget, the paving budget, which means the secondary roads here wouldn't get paved,
Right.
or the taxes would go up, or the money has to come from somewhere. And then if the city does do it, there's no guarantee of reimbursement from the state.
Right, exactly.
And they did do it after the flood. The city did do the south end, right? That
Yes.
little strip.
Yeah.
But if they did any more than that, they could end up holding the bag.
And they did that section because of the ruts. There were ruts through here. People were stumbling trying to use a crosswalk. That's how bad the ruts were. And I can tell you right now, just from doing that Christmas for Kids, standing out for the coin drop on a Saturday, the ruts down at that end are just as bad, if not worse, than they were up at this end. And they aren't going to get touched for, 2028 now.
We have a freaking crater on Hill Street. Actually, I think they were taking care of that, but there is a hole on Hill Street that would practically swallow a whole car. That thing is dangerous. And there's not a lot of room to go out and around. If you meet anybody there, sometimes
Right.
you can get around, but it's
And it's so close to the curb, you can't go to the right.
right. It's so big, you're like literally trapped
Yep.
there and have no choice but to hit it. So there are some serious potholes out there for sure still, which hopefully, because are the plants open now?
Not yet.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
not yet.
I don't believe they are.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I mean, I know that you said, was it last week that they actually traveled somewhere to
Went
get,
to Massachusetts and got $10,000 worth of hot mix
just to try to help
to
out
get those
and keep
bigger.
things
Yeah, and
going.
that's where you notice. I think it was up on South Main Street. There's a bunch that they filled in, and there was a couple others, but
And the problem with doing that is it's literally like you're buying it, but it's like throwing shit against the tide because it's not going to stay in there.
well, that'll last longer than a cold patch will.
Yeah.
But still, doesn't last forever.
Right, not for very long. Before we go, we have to mention tonight's special is Very Vermont, and it is at the Meltdown. The Sicilian bread grilled with Cabot cheddar, stacked with turkey, crispy bacon, and fresh McIntosh apples, then finished with a honey mustard drizzle from Graham Farm Maple. That sounds really, really good. Just saying. And it looks damn
Everything
good,
on the
too.
menu sounds good.
Huh?
Everything on the menu sounds good.
And their French onion soup, just gonna say, is to die for. I love their French onion soup.
Now I got a craving for meatloaf too, because we talked about that.
Oh, yes. Well, maybe Sunday, depending. I don't know. Maybe Sunday we'll be going over to the quarry. We got to figure that out too.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be getting together with Rick Coyne, who is going to be doing some podcasts with us. Rick has a huge story to tell. I mean, that man, talk about 9 lives. He's been in a airplane crash, an avalanche. He fell while
Ice climbing.
cliff climbing. Yeah, I mean, he has had so many things happen. He's been in some crazy accidents that he survived. He didn't necessarily walk away from them, but he certainly survived and has carried on, still works every day, skis, does all kinds of crazy adventures, and he's been a really good friend of mine for many years, and he's writing a book, and it's close to being published, so we're going to kind of do some podcasts with him, talk about the book, share some of his stories with people, and then to promote the book. But it turns out Rick as well.
Yeah.
You went to school with him.
He's a couple years behind me.
You've been able to tell some stories that probably...
Maybe we can get him to talk about his streaking days.
His streaking days. He
Yeah.
says that the streaking days are in the book.
All
It
right.
does
Right.
talk about them a little bit. I only knew about one of them. I knew that once they dared him to run in one door, because McDonald's, you could go in the front
Right.
and then come out on the side.
Yeah.
I knew about him doing that. But
and then
I
there's
didn't know
one-
about all
there's-
the rest of them.
I think there's one. I know there's one that I've heard about him streaking across the stage in the auditorium at Spalding High School. But
I believe it.
that could be just legend.
The guy's wild. You never know what's going to happen with Rick. But we'll be having him in here soon, and we'll probably have to do a few different podcasts with him just to be able to get it all in, because there's so much. Like I said, he's been through so many things in life that it's insane. So we'll be talking with him. And I agree with you, Glenn. It looks so good. And I think that's it. I think that tomorrow morning people can tune in 7 a.m. for Right Side Up with Mike Taglivia. All kinds of things have happened in the state, in the state house over the week. Some good things, some not so good things, depending on who you are. And he'll be talking about those for sure, and a bunch of other stuff too. So get out, enjoy an Easter egg hunt if they're happening. The
Yep.
ones that I mean, you can go this weekend and next weekend too.
Yeah.
Some craft fairs and other events. I don't think the weather's going to be too bad. Sunday's supposed to be the nicer day of the weekend. And then we're going to have like 3 or 4 days stretch of at least in the 40s. Not bad. And we'll be doing
We'll be
basketball.
watching some basketball games.
We'll be
again.
watching basketball game. But it's a lot of fun. And it's
Yeah.
grandkids and they do a great job. And
Yeah.
it's fun to go.
Yeah.
So get out there and support the youth whenever you can. Tune in to Mike tomorrow at 7. We'll be back next week on Tuesday and Thursday. Barry Beat is on Sunday night, I believe, unless they have to have a change. Sometimes it depends on what is happening in Montpelier. And so other than that, have a fun, safe weekend, and we'll see you soon.